Okay, let's talk about these. This is all men and women. Right now, this is tension between all men and women. It's mother and son, it's husband and wife. That Venus and Mars. Women and men. All women and all men. Moms, daughters, dads, sons, grandpas, grandmas. All women and all men are having tension right now. If somebody was getting married right now, I would tell them, please wait a little while until that Venus and Mars square is over. That might even be why some people are getting married right now, because of this tension that the men think, oh, I gotta do it because she really wants me to, or the other way around. So it could bring more weddings. But anyway, what I see it as, when Max asked me in one of my questions, do I look back or do I look ahead? I look every way possible. Say the man has this and the woman has this, so they're always causing a square between Venus and Mars in their charts together. They won't keep fighting. They'll just keep fighting and fighting. They'll always be fighting. I know this one well. I know the hard aspects of relationships very well. So people have come to me and said, why don't I get along with my husband? Then I do her chart and I do his chart, and then I find this. I'll find this. Their Venus and their Mars are square to each other. They don't have the same common ground, and they will keep fighting about that. But one thing that the square does bring is attraction. It's normally you're very attracted to that person. Like the tension and the arguing that could happen is fucking turns people on. So for some reason you will see relationships with a lot of square. And I think for the charts that I've looked at, when people are asking me things, I think it's because square people with this tension in their natal chart, they're actually craving that. They're craving this tension and this arguing aspect. It's always different. These two are so different. They're always going to be bickering. And when people have that square tension in their own chart, they tend to go out and find someone who will aspect it, so they will always be causing action to that aspect that they have. So for me, I have moon square Mars, and I have moon op Jupiter, and also Mars square Jupiter. All of anyone I've ever stayed with for any amount of time, all of them have something either to my moon, my Mars, or my Jupiter, or my Venus Aries. Those are all involved together in my strongest aspect. It's a T-square, but then the Venus 23 Aries is exact in conjunct my moon 20. So everyone I've ever been with for any amount of time has something aspecting that in my chart. And yes, it's good, bad, because that's my hardest angle. And when somebody's always irritating it, it brings me into action, but it also annoys the shit out of both of you to have that. So I don't just read these. I'm not just saying, oh, this is bad because I wrote it in a book. But what I have is 20 plus years of people coming to me and saying, what's wrong? I'm with this guy. What's wrong with this girl over here? Why don't we get along? And I look at charts, and then I find these things like this Venus square Mars. I find this, and then I find another one and another one and another one. Giving people advice, please don't marry this man, or please don't marry this woman, but they never listen, so it doesn't really matter. You don't need to. You can't even tell people what to do because they don't listen. For the most part, no one really listens. They just want to hear you say it, and then it'll sink in later. 10 more fights with that man, and they'll finally start to see it the way I see it on this chart. No one wants to believe that there's this system we can tell what people are like. That really pisses people off too, when you tell them you can tell what they're like. They don't think you can. And I'm willing to just shake it off for those people. Okay, I can't. Whatever. I can't see Virgo. Can't tell it's Virgo. Can't tell it's getting colder out. Gotta harvest. I have no idea. I can't tell. Wasn't looking. Not paying attention. What does attention even mean? The word attention is with tension right in the word. Attention. There is a tension between us. Ooh. How do you pay attention? You give someone tension? In fact, I'm willing to bet money on people finding other people who spring them into action and wanting to hold on to those people. Even though they fight, they still love that feeling of being brought to action. Anyway, what is this all about? Well, I'm just pointing at a chart and reminding you all that in the chart it shows tension and arguing between all men and all women right now. So if you're experiencing that, just hold on to the fact that you know it's going to change. These aspects all fade out.